Welcome to SEO Espresso, the podcast, with me, your host Natalie, of Natalie Faith Web Designs. This podcast is your short and fast hit to learning SEO, dedicated to breaking down the complexity of SEO so you can create a memorable online brand that attracts clicks, leads, and sales to your website. Learn SEO in easy-to-consume shots of knowledge that will allow your business to grow, all while sipping your morning coffee. If this is what you've been looking for to get your business noticed in more places than just social media, you're in the right place. You're going to love what comes next. Let's go. So over the next few episodes, I'll be sharing with you the SEO basics that I'll cover in my course, SEO Espresso. I created this course to support more women in business to learn the basics in SEO, so you have the knowledge to grow your business online. If you're interested in increasing your website's visibility in Google and other search engines, then keep listening. I will be covering SEO from the ground up in a super simple way that you won't feel confused or frustrated or feel like you've wasted your time. So what will I cover in the episodes to come? I'm going to start with the basics of what is SEO, because I've heard it referred to as CEO and other things that aren't related to this acronym. When it comes to starting a business, you don't start it to learn about SEO, you start it to share your knowledge in your industry with your community. So let me share my knowledge on this topic with you, starting with what it is and why it's important for your business. And then I'll go into ranking factors with Google. There's 3 pillars that I'll cover, which is on-page, off-page, and technical, to give you an overview of what they involve and if you can implement them, or if it's best to hire someone to do the complicated things for you, so you know where to allocate your resources. I also want to share with you what particular actions make the Google algorithm happy. Google doesn't say this will help you rank higher, but I know from my clients, it does make them rank higher. So some cheeky little insights. And of course, exactly what you can do as a small business owner, because we all have limited time and resources. I will be sharing with you what will make the biggest impact. So you start seeing the biggest changes first and then consistent changes after that. I really want you to be found on search engines. So in this series, by the end of it, you will start seeing changes if you action the things that I discuss throughout them. But before we get started, let me introduce myself. I am Natalie. I am a website designer and SEO strategist from Melbourne, Australia. I've experienced across government organisations and small businesses to create beautiful, functional websites. I started my career in my younger years as an online product officer, helping tourism businesses edit and upload their businesses' information onto visitvictoria.com, which is our state tourism organisation in Victoria. I help them improve their online visibility and give them SEO strategies and advice to increase their online presence, because like all of us, they were struggling with how to gain more tourists to come to their businesses. And so I provided them with advice in order to market that, whether it was referring them to someone else in my team so they could be featured like on the website or in a physical form, because I did used to be physical brochures, or to their local tourism organisations, and they could be promoted further on their platforms too, allowing them to understand different marketing avenues, but then also what they can do themselves from an SEO perspective, and giving them some tips, but also a few strategies that they can do over the month, and then come back to me and let me know if that has helped them and what else we can do to support them. It was a really beautiful job and I really loved it. It's how I cut my teeth in websites and SEO, and I have such a fondness for my time there and the team that I worked with. This is actually really what spurred on my decision to start learning about websites and SEO. But before I did get into it, the trigger actually happened when I was traveling across South America when I was 25. I became super curious about how to build websites and allow them to grow in search engines using SEO. And if you're thinking that's weird, you weren't focused on the beautiful landscapes of South America. Yes, I was. But as you know, as a backpacker, sometimes funds get low and you end up finding ways to live for free or earning money while you're traveling so you can keep adventuring around the continent. And so I was about halfway through my travels of South America. I went clockwise around, starting in Argentina, going through Chile and Bolivia, Peru, and then found myself in Ecuador. And yeah, my money was running low and my friends went up to the Galapagos and I didn't have the money to do that. So I found an opportunity to work at a backpackers in a small little country town in Ecuador. They gave me free accommodation while I was working there, and I was just cleaning all the rooms when other backpackers had checked out. I'd be cleaning the common areas and the hallways. And this is the time where it really hit me, because I noticed that a fellow traveller was earning free accommodation by simply updating the hostel's website. And I was so upset about this because it looked so much easier than the back-breaking cleaning work I was doing. And this is when my imagination took control. Like, imagine how much easier it would be if I could travel and work on people's websites. And I'd work on websites and SEO before, and I really enjoyed it. And I could actually work and travel doing something that I loved. So when I returned back to Australia after a slight little detour in the UK, two of my friends got married, so I just popped over there, then came back to Australia. I got thinking about this a lot when I came back, and I started researching courses, and I enrolled how to study code, so a front-end developer. This was not only fun, but it also taught me how search engines read websites. I learned how to create elegant website designs as well as user-friendly website layouts. Until you've built a website, you don't actually realize how much search engines consume of your website and how they can understand what you do. Because everything, literally everything on your website, from the code to the pictures to the text, they read everything. So if any of that is not aligned, then it will affect how a search engine views you and therefore ranks you on their platform. And this is what I want to help you with. So Google knows exactly what your business does and appropriately put you in the right place, which we want to be in front of your dream clients. So yeah, that is my goal with this podcast. And this is my goal also for my course, SEO Espresso. I'll leave a link down below so you can have a look if you want to, especially if you're more of a visual learner. But if you're an audio learner, this podcast, it's an audio version of that. Maybe a little bit more rambling from me, but it's an alternative option to learning SEO. I'll be dropping more episodes on SEO very soon. And also, if you want to read any more about my adventures in South America, I do have a blog post on this. And finally, if you've enjoyed this podcast and know someone who wants to learn more about SEO, please share this episode with them. Reach out with me in my DMs on Instagram if you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want me to cover. My Instagram is Natalie Faith Web Designs. I'll leave a link in the show notes as well for you, so then you can easily click over and say hi. Until next time, see you then. Bye.
This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation, who've cared for this land for over 60,000 years. I pay respect to their elders, past and present. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.